Our goal topic
to be discussed
is all about
functions.
in mathematics.
enjoy watching. So, after watching and studying this lesson, we expected you to know what function is, to recognize the representation of function, to classify domain and range, to determine if a graph is a function or not, and familiarize the basic types of functions. But before we proceed to our discussion, we prepared a motivation for you to recognize what you know and don't know about the topic. Okay, let's begin. You just need to determine if the given is a function or not. I prepared 3 given only and I will give you 15 seconds to answer it all. After that, the correct answers will automatically appear. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's start. It is a function or not. How's your feeling while answering those given? And now, we will proceed to our main goal.
Goal.
A relation is a set of ordered pairs. An ordered pair is a composition of the x coordinate or abscissa and y coordinate or called as the
Coordinate.
For further explanation about ordered pairs, it will be tackled later as one of the representation of function. So now, what is a function? The abbreviations of y equals f of x, g of x, and p of x are commonly used to represent a function. A function is a relation wherein each element of the first component or the domain contains only to one element of the second component or the range. All the values of the first component or x is called as the domain of the function, while the set of all the values of the second component or a y is called as the range of the function. For example, a relation of 0 and 6, 2 and 3, 2 and 0, negative 4 and 1. So, the domain in the given are 0, 2, and negative 4, while the range are 6, 3, 0, and 1. We can also use a table to distinguish them. Another example, a relation of A and 1, B and 2, C and 3, D and 4. So, the domain are A, B, C, and D, while the range are 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can notice that it is a function because the first component contains only one value in the range.
Good day to everyone. I am Danica A. Hernandez and now we're going to tackle the representation of functions. It is divided into 4 parts, which are ordered pairs, diagram or mapping, formula or equation, and graphing. Okay, the first one is ordered pairs. How we can say that the given relation or ordered pairs is a function or not? It should be no two different ordered pairs have the same x coordinate. Each element in the domain is matched with exactly one element in the range. Take a look at this example and let's see which of these are the functions and not a function. In the relation A, we have ordered pairs AE, BF, CG, and DH. So how we can say that this is a function or not? So take a look at the x coordinate. This is x, and then this is y. So it should be no same x coordinate. So our x coordinate in the relation A, A, B, C, and D. And we can see that we don't have the same x coordinate, and we can conclude that the relation A is a function. In the relation B, our ordered pairs are 0, 1, 0, 2, 3, 5, and 1, 4. So take a look again to the x coordinate. Our x are 0, 0 again, 3, and 1. And as I said, it should be no two different ordered pairs have the same x coordinate. And we can see here that we have the same x coordinate, which is 0. So this relation B is not a function. In the relation C, we have the ordered pairs MO, PZ, WT, and PK. So our x coordinate are M, P, W, and P again. So again, we have the same x coordinate. So this relation C is not a function. In the relation D, we have the ordered pairs 7, 6, 0, 8, 1, 9, and 3, 2. So our x coordinate are 7, 0, 1, and 3. So as we can see, we don't have the same x coordinate or ordered pairs. So this relation D is a function. And that's how we can identify if the given relation or ordered pairs is a function or not.
The second representation of function is diagram or mapping. It is a function with special type of relation wherein the domain is paired with one element of the range. A mapping or diagram is represented using an arrows from domain to range. The first type of diagram or mapping is one-to-one function. It is a function where the domain has one distinct element in the range, and it is also called injective. For example, A for domain and B for the range. Mother has one distinct element in range wherein it is father, auntie, uncle, sister, and brother. Another example, A for domain, B for the range. The element of A are O, S, R, E, and the B or the range is 9, 3, 7, 1. We can see that in every element of A, there is one distinct element or value in the B or in the range. The second type of diagram or mapping is many-to-one function. It is a function which maps two or more elements of A with the same element of the B. For example, A and B. The three elements of A, which is blue, violet, and pink, will map the element of the B, which is colors, square and circle, shapes, one, and number. Another example, A for domain and B for the range. We can see in this example that two or more elements of A will map the same element in the B or in the range. The third representation of function is formula or equation. A function is an equation that has only one answer for x for every f of x. A function assigns exactly one output to each input of a specified type. For this example, we will determine this equation if it's function or not. By doing that, we will use table of values. We will assign any possible values for x and substitute the x to the equation to get the value of f of x. For example, x is equal to negative 2. We will substitute it in the equation. F of negative 2 equals 2 times negative 2 squared plus 1. F of negative 2 equals 2. We will square the negative 2. We'll get the answer 4 plus 1. F of negative 2 equals 9. And if the value of x is negative 1, we will get 3, 0, 1, 1, 3, 2, 9. We can conclude that this equation f of x equals 2x squared plus 1 is function because each element in domain or x correspond a specific value of range or f of x.
Okay, the fourth representation of a function is graphing, and we will use the vertical line test to determine whether a graph of a relation is a function or not. So, vertical line test cut the graph of the relation in one point. If the vertical line test cut the graph of the relation in more than one point, then the relation does not represent a function. Let's try this example. So this is the letter A, and this is the graph of the relation. So let's draw the vertical line here. As we can see, the line cut the graph here. So it cut only one point. As we can see, the graph of the relation in the example letter A is a function. This is the example letter B. So this is the graph of the relation, and let's draw the vertical line here. And the line cut the graph here. This is 1 point, and as we can see, there is 1 point here. So the graph also cut the graph here. The relation in example letter B is not a function.
Piecewise function or also called hybrid function. It is defined not by single equation but two or more. Piecewise is actually a way of expressing a function rather than a characteristic itself, and it can describe the nature of function. For example, f of x equals 2x minus 1 if x is less than 1. This is the first equation. And the second equation is x plus 4 if x is greater than or
Equal to 1.
in equation 1, f of x equals 2x minus 1. To get the value of x, we will use table of values. If x is equal to 1, we will substitute it. F of 1 equals 2 times 1 minus 1. F of 1 equals 1. And if the value of x is 0, we will get
Negative 1.
It is a function which is defined by multiple subfunctions, where each subfunction is applied to a certain interval of the main function's domain. Either we will use solving or graphing, but on this example, we will use graphing and we will graph this given function. Let's graph this example. F of x is equals to 2x minus 1 when x is less than 1. So this is the equation number 1. And another is x plus 4 when x is greater than or equal to 1. And this is the equation number 2. Okay, first, let's graph the first equation, which is 2x minus 1. So this is negative 1. So we will put this negative 1 here. And this is 2x. So it will become 2 over 1 because of this. So rise over run, we will rise 2. So 1, 2. And we will run 1. So like that. And we will connect the point. So this is the graph of the first equation, which is 2x minus 1. And then we will plot the second equation, which is x plus 4. So this is positive 4, and we will put here in the upper part. So this is 4. And then 1, okay, we will rise 1. And we'll run 1. And we will connect the point. This is the graph of the x plus 4, which is equation number 2. Okay, we're not done yet in our example. So after we plot the equation 1 and equation 2, we will combine them in one Cartesian plane. So we will do is graph this again here, like that. So are we gonna do to get the final graph for the equation 1, since its x is less than to 1, we will erase the line like that. And then, since it's less than to 1, we will use the open circle. And the arrow goes to the left. Since it's less than 1, so the 1 will not indicate to the graph. So the first equation will look like this. And now, we're going to plot the equation number 2. This one, and then this is the graph of the equation number 2. Since it is x is greater than or equal to 1, we will erase again the line. Since we're talking about greater than or equal to, we will use the closed circle. Arrows go upward. Is the final graph of our equation f of x equals to 2x minus 1 when x is less than to 1 and x plus 4 when x is greater than or equal to 1. Remember to use open circle for greater than or less than sign and use the closed circle for greater than or equal to or less than or equal to.
So now we will discuss the basic types of function. The first type of function is the constant function. Constant function is a function whose values does not change and its degree is 0. So, ang constant function ay kahit anong gawin mo is hindi nababago yung value niya. For example, f of x is equals to 5. So, yan, ang magiging value niya pa rin is 5. Kahit hindi siya mapapalitan. Another example is f of x equals to 10. So, yan. Ganyan ang example ng constant function. Pag ginraph naman natin siya, isipin nyo na lang na straight yung line ko. Kung etong f of x is equals to 5, so eto 5. Kunwari 5, inano ko na lang. So, yan, magiging nandito siya, 0, 5. Yan. Tapos, kung 10 naman, kung yung f of x is equals to 10, dito naman siya, 10. So, dito siya. Ganyan ang pagpa-plot ng constant function. So, now, let's proceed to the second basic type of function, which is linear function. Linear function is defined as a function that has either one or two variables without exponent. It's function that graphs a straight line. For example, y is equals to 5x plus 10. So, yan. Gagawa muna tayo ng table of values para makapag-graph tayo. So, x and y. So, yon, mag-iisip tayo ng mga small numbers na pwedeng i-substitute as x para makuha natin yung values of y. Kunwari, negative 2. So, ganito ang gagawin nyo. Sa-substitute nyo lang yung 2 dun sa x. So, 5 times negative 2 plus 10 is 0. So, negative 1. So, 5 times negative 1 plus 10 is equals to 5. So, 0. 5 times 0 plus 10 is 10. So, 1. 5 times 1 plus 10 is 15. So, 5. Tapos yun, 2. 5 times 2 plus 10 is 20. So, ayan, meron na tayong mga values ng x and y. So, i-graph na natin siya. Isipin nyo na lang straight line siya. So, negative 2, 0. Kunwari, andito yung negative 2. To, negative 2, 0. Tapos, negative 1, 5. So, 1, 5 dito. Kasi 5 to. 5. Pinagay na lang natin para mas madali siyang i-graph. Kasi lalayo eh. So, 0, 10. So, 0, 10. Ito. 1, 15. So, ito, 1, 15 dito. Kasi ito ay 15. So, 2, 20. So, dito. So, straight line yan. Isipin nyo na lang na straight line yan. So, ganyan ang example ng linear function.
My topic is all about quadratic functions. A quadratic function is a polynomial function with one or more variables, in which the highest exponent of the variable is 2. Also, a quadratic function has a minimum of one term, which is the second degree. Also, a quadratic function is a second degree polynomial represented as f of x equal ax squared plus bx plus c, or pwede nating palitan ang f of x ng y. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Always remember that a is not equal to 0, where a, b, and c is the real numbers. This is the example of quadratic functions. Find the vertex h and k. Y equals 2x squared minus 4x minus 1. The a is equals to 2, and the v equals to negative 4. The formula is h equals negative v over 2a. Substitute natin yung negative b, negative times negative 4. And 2a, yung a magiging 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and negative times negative 4 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. K naman, substitution lang. Yung x magiging 1 siya. 1 times 1 is 1. The negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. 2 times 1 is 2. The negative 4 minus 1 is 5. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. The vertex form natin is 1 and negative 3. This is the graph of our example. My next topic is all about rational functions. A rational function is noted by f of x equals p of x over q of x, wherein p of x and q of x are polynomials. Always remember that q of x not be equal to 0. Example number 1. Tignan natin kung rational function ba siya or undefined. 3x plus 4 over 2x minus 3. 3x plus 4 is a polynomial, and 2x minus 3 is a polynomial. Number 1 is rational function. Number 2. 4x raised to 1 half minus 5 over 3x plus 2. This number 2 is undefined because in numerator have a fraction exponent. And number 3, 5x minus 2 over 0. Diba, sabi nga na dapat ang q of x ay hindi siya mag-equal to 0. Number 4, 9x plus 6 over 7x minus 3. 9x plus 6 is a polynomial. 7x minus 3 is also a polynomial. Therefore, number 4 is a rational function. This is example number 2. Number 1, 1 over x squared is a rational function. Number 2, 3 over 3x cubed is also a rational function. Number 3, 4x raised to 3, 4 over 5x. Hindi pwede magkaroon ng exponent na fraction. Kaya ito ay undefined. Number 4, 5 over 5x is a rational function. Number 5, 4x squared plus 5x minus 2 over 3x squared plus 2
is a rational function. And last, number 6, 4x over 0. Di ba nga, bawal tayo magkaroon ng q of x na 0. Kaya this is a undefined.
The exponential function. It is a mathematical function in form of f of x equals to a raised to x, where x is a variable and a is a constant, which is called the base of the function, and it should be greater than 0 or not equal to 1. The most approximately used exponential function base is the transcendental number e, which is approximately equal to 2.71828. X is any real number. If the variable is negative, the function is undefined for x greater than -1 and less than 1. Example number 1. Given the function of f of x equals to 2 raised to x, find the f of 4. To evaluate any function, we simplify have to use the given input. Therefore, we have f of 4 equals to 2 raised to f. So we need to multiply the 2 4 times. 2 times 2 equals to 4 times 2 equals to 8 times 2 equals to 16. So the final answer for the f of 4 is 16. Example number 2. Given the function of f of x equals to 2 raised to x, find the f of -3. To evaluate any function, we simplify have to use the given input. Therefore, we have f of -3 equals to 2 raised to -3. And because our exponent is -3, we need to find its reciprocal. So the reciprocal is 1 over 2 raised to 3. And the final answer is 1 over 8.
Logarithmic function is an inverse function to exponentation. The logarithmic function is defined as for x is greater than 0, a greater than 0, and a is not equal to 1. Y is equals to log base a of x if and only if x is equals to a raised to y, then the function is given by f of x is equals to log base a of x. Balik tayo sa form ng logarithmic.
Kapag nakakita kayo ng form na ganito, ang basa dyan ay log base a of x. So, log means logarithmic and yung a means base.
Pero usually, ang ginagamit na bases sa logarithmic ay base 10 and base e. So, kapag base 10 ang gamit, ang tawag doon is common logarithmic. Then, kapag naman base e ang gamit, ang tawag doon is natural logarithmic. So, first example, log base 2 of 32. So, paano natin nakuha yung value na x na 32? Ang gagawin lang natin, ililipat natin yung logarithmic form sa exponential form. So, kukuhanin natin yung base 2, then i-multiply natin siya by itself hanggang sa makuha natin yung value ni x, which is 32. So, 2 times 2 is 4, then 2 times 4 is 8, then 8 times 2 is 16, then 16 times 2 is 32. So, makikita natin na limang beses natin siyang inulit. So, ang value ni exponential form or ang value ng exponent natin is 5. So, second example is log base 3 of 27. So, again, ililipat lang natin siya sa exponential form, which is kukuhanin natin yung base 3, then i-multiply natin ito by itself hanggang sa makuha natin yung value ni x, which is 27. So, 3 times 3 is 9, then 9 times 3 is 27. So, ang value ni x or ni exponent is 3. So, kapag naman sinulat natin siya sa exponential form, ang magiging form niya ay 3 raised to 3. So, last example, log base 4 of 1. So, dito medyo magiging complicated lang dahil hindi natin pwede kuhanin si base form para i-multiply sa kanyang sarili. Bakit? Dahil pag ginawa natin to, 4 times 4 is equals to 16. Hindi siya magtatali sa value ni x na 1. Hindi rin naman natin pwedeng gawing 1 yung exponent ni 4 dahil 4 raised to 1 is 4. Is also 4. So, kaya magiging value ng exponent is 0. Pero bakit 1 ang naging value ni x? Si 0 is also equivalent to 1. Kaya naging log base 4 of 1 kahit na ang exponential or exponent ni 4 is 0.
The seventh basic type of function is the absolute value function. It is a function contains an algebraic expression within absolute value symbols. Recall that the absolute value of a number is its distance from 0 on the number line. The absolute value parent function, written as f of x equals to absolute value of x, is defined as f of x equals to x if x is greater than 0. 0 if x is equals to 0, and negative x if x is less than 0. Example, the absolute value of 4 is 4. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of negative 1 is 1. And lastly, the absolute value of negative 5 is 5.
Polynomial function is the easiest and the commonly used mathematical equation. It can be expressed in terms of a polynomial, and generally, a polynomial is denoted as p of x. The greatest exponent of the variable p of x is known as the degree of a polynomial. Paano nga ba natin malalaman na ito ay polynomial function? Una, the variable has no negative exponent. For example, 2x squared minus 5. 2x squared minus 5 is an example of polynomial function. Pero, kapag ang exponent ng variable ay naging negative, which is 2x raised to negative 2 minus 5, then it is not a polynomial function. Sabi nga natin kanina na ang polynomial function or the variable has no negative exponent. Pangalawa, the variable has no fractional exponent. For example, 2x cubed minus 2x. 2x cubed minus 2x. Laging nating tandaan na kapag walang kasamang exponent si variable, laging may naka-raise na 1 sa kanya. So, 2x cubed minus 2x is a polynomial function. Kapag naman naging 2x cubed minus 2x raised to 1 half, this is not a polynomial function. Bakit? Kasi sabi nga natin kanina, polynomial function has no fractional exponent. Another one, the variable is not in radical symbol. For example, 4x squared plus 3y minus 2z. 4x squared plus 3y minus 2z is an example of a polynomial function. Pero kapag nakita natin na ang expression ay naka-radical, this is not a polynomial function. Sabi nga natin kanina, na sa polynomial function, na wala itong radical symbol. And lastly, the variable is not in denominator. For example, kunin lang natin yung ginamit natin sa example kanina. So, 4x squared plus 3y minus 2z plus 1.
4x squared plus 3y minus 2z plus 1 is an example of a polynomial function. Pero, kapag naging 4x squared plus 3y over negative 2z plus 1, this is considered as not polynomial function. Bakit? Kasi kasabi lang natin kanina that the variable is not in the denominator. So, nakikita naman natin na mayroong variable si denominator. So, it is not a polynomial function.
So let's move forward to the different types of polynomial function. First one is constant polynomial function. From the word itself, constant, hindi nagbabago. Kapag wala siyang kasamang variable, puro whole numbers lang siya. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Next one is zero polynomial function. Polynomial functions with a degree of 1 are known as linear functions. So p of x is equals to a is equals to ax raised to 0. So, kapag sabi natin zero polynomial function, it is a type of polynomial where all variables, coefficients, are equal to 0. So, linear polynomial function, it is also a polynomial functions with a degree of 1, also known as linear polynomial function. So, p of x is equals to ax plus b. So, kapag wala kasamang any exponent si variable, automatic, naka-raise siya sa 1. Next one is quadratic polynomial function. It is a polynomial function with a degree of 2. So, p of x is equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. So, kapag quadratic polynomial function, naka-raise naman siya sa, ang highest degree niya is 2. Cubic polynomial function. It is a polynomial function with a degree of 3. ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. So, kapag sinabing cubic polynomial function, naka-raise siya sa 3. Highest degree niya is 3. So, kapag naman sabing quartic, ang highest degree niya is 4.
And that's it. We hope you learned from us. Thank you for watching.